Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome back, dear students, to this course on architectural thesis. My name is Dr. Vishal Chettry and I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Architecture, Planning and Design at IIT Varanasi. So in this today's lecture, we will focus on the several aspects of detailing the drawings for architectural thesis. So this is the content for the presentation. So before we directly focus on what the actual topic of this presentation, I will present you the recap of what we had covered in the previous presentation. Then we'll focus on the detailing part of the the lecture. So working drawing of a key building element. So which part of the building you have to detail and what drawing conventions has to be followed when it comes to do the detailing of the structure. So technical detailing standards, layout of building services, all this will be discussed in context to the detailing of the building parts, then key expectations and outcomes of detailing, and then the presentation will be concluded with some key important takeaways. Some wrap up activities will be suggested at the end, and resources for further reading, and the topics that will be covered in the next presentation will also be highlighted at the end. So to give you a recap of what was covered in the previous presentation, we focused on the site section, which included details about why is it really important for architectural thesis, what importance does it hold in explaining the landform, the site grading, and while integrating landscape with the build form. So how does site section helps you in explaining all these different related aspects of the architectural thesis submissions. So site section plays a crucial role in understanding how architecture interacts with the terrain and natural features, because with this drawing you can exhibit that interaction level. It also showcases the integration of landscape and built form through site sections, and it helps to visualize transition and harmonize design with the environment. Representing site grading accurately highlights cut and fill operations, slope conditions, and drainage, which is essential for site planning. So site section drawing convention includes clear section lines, level indicators, hatching for cut materials. These are some important instructions that has to be followed when you showcase site section, or else it will create confusion to the person who will be looking into your sheets. So let us now start with the topic of this presentation, that is regarding the detailing of the drawings. So what is detailing? So it is a precise graphical representation of how different parts of a buildings are joined or constructed or finished. So it may be any structural member of the building, or maybe any other component within the building, so that the execution or the construction process happens as thought by the architect, and includes less of wastage of money and time and the other related material that are used for the construction. So it connects design intent and the actual construction that is supposed to be done on the site, and also it minimizes confusion or enhances the clarity regarding the particular member of which the detail is shown. So detailing ensures that ideas on paper can be translated into a physical buildable structure very clearly, with with all the labels and dimensions being mentioned for that particular drawing. It communicates essential information to contractor, engineer, and the craftsman, whoever is involved in executing that that part of the building. So the purpose here is to provide clear communication, that is all the details of the respective structural member or any other building component are clearly communicated. The dimension, the material that is being used, all this is clearly explained through the detailed drawing. Then it is also legal and technical record, because it is a proof that you have given sufficient explanation to that particular part, and if there goes anything wrong in the construction, so you are not you should not be liable for those damages. It eliminates ambiguity, that it reduces the questions of any doubt that may come up regarding the project. So that is why it is important. It supports the cost estimation, because there is no rework that is generally done in case if you have followed the details as shown in the working drawing. It supports time management, and it is a reference for future repairs if at all there is any future repair and maintenance work that is required. So what is architectural detailing? So it transforms conceptual design into the buildable reality, because at times the concept that is there related to a particular building may be somewhere ambiguous to the person who will execute that project. So that is where the conversion of concept to the technical drawing is done through detailing, because generally through floor plan, elevation, site section, site elevation and other typical drawings, some minute aspects of the building can't be showcased in that scale of 1:100 or 1:50. You have to go much larger scale, like 1:1 or even 1:5 and 1:10. So this type of scale helps visualize the actual material, the actual dimension of the construction, and enhances the clarity in the mind of the contractor or the site engineer. So effective detailing ensures that the structural integrity is maintained, weatherproofing is enhanced, and material compatibility while maintaining the architect's aesthetic intent is completed. So every line and dimension along with the notation carries legal and practical significance. So the language of writing, the detail, the technical drawing that that will be used to represent the detailing has to be as per specific standards. So working drawing communicates complex construction sequences, material specifications and assembly methods that make buildings structurally sound and weather resistant. The critical role in construction success involves about the detailing is that it minimizes the risk. That is, detailed drawings prevents costly construction errors by clearly defining the material details of that particular building element or component, the structural connections and weatherproofing strategies if it is related to roof and the exterior facade. Proper detailing reduces liability and change orders that may occur during the construction phase. Also, it is a good communication tool to explain what is there in the mind of architect to the person who will complete or execute that project on site. So quality assurance establishes construction standards and material specification with working drawing, and comprehensive detailing ensures that the project meets the quality standards as envisioned at the start of the project. So these are some important role that detailing or working drawing provides to any architectural project. So developing a working drawing is a step-by-step process, and this course is already completed probably in your 5th or 6th semester of your BR course, and you are now well versed with how to start or how to showcase the working drawing for your any of the part of your architectural thesis. But then just to give you a glimpse of the on how to start regarding and how it is relevant for the architectural thesis, is that you have to select a particular element as we selected when you had drawn your working drawing submission. So you might have selected a small residence or a small built small building to start with, and you have drawn the detail of floor plan, of elevation, section, maybe kitchen and toilet details, or also maybe the detail about your terrace and other building components like doors, windows, main gate, and all those other related building elements. So likewise, in your architectural thesis, you have to now think of what is that critical junction which is very important to be explained to the examiner or to the any person who will be looking into your sheet. So select that particular element and then do the detailing. So do some research and analysis related to the element that you have selected. So study similar construction detail and then start with the detailing of that element. So drawing development, so create detailed section and plan of that particular element so that the assembly and the manufacture, the connections is very clearly understood. Then also use standard annotation and documentation process when you start doing the detailing or start preparing the working drawing for the thesis. So generally in thesis it is not expected that you showcase the working drawing of the entire project, but at least you can attempt showing a working drawing for the basement or maybe for the floor, the ground floor of the structure, or you can showcase the detail of any other important critical building elements. For example, if you have a tensile structure or if you have some kind of space frame in your design, so you can do the detailing of those critical building elements which are not conventional building practices. So you can show the detailing, and that actually showcases your ability to comprehend the entire construction process of that building element. So this is why adding a working drawing or a details in your architectural thesis submission is always helpful. So working drawings are technical drawings that describe every aspect of building for construction. They include plans, that is the layout of the each floor. For if you are selecting a floor or if it is a roof, then the plan of the entire roof. Then you showcase the section with vertical slices through the building and doing the detailing as you have done for your working drawing assignments. Then the elevation, you can showcase the detail about the elevation if there is any specific molding or carving or any specific material that is being used in your exterior facade. So you can show the detail of those elements. Construction details like foundation, plinth beam, maybe connection between lintel and the lintel beam and the slab. So all those important junctions you can showcase the detail, and or even the staircase or toilet may be showcased in detail. So accuracy and precision are key when it comes to preparing detailed drawings. So details begin by choosing a significant component of the building, as already explained. So criteria for selection is emphasized here, like depends on the complexity of construction, frequency of use or integration with other building systems. So based on that you can select any of the building component and then do the detailing of that part. So it's a step-by-step development of working drawing process where you first draw the preliminary sketch, then you draw the structural detailing, then you also indicates the material that is used along with the dimensions, then integration of services if at all it involves these services within that building element or component, and then finalizing the working drawing for the particular project. So notations, dimensions and annotations are to be followed followed as per the protocol that you have already covered in your working drawing subject. So try to again look back into the portfolio that you have prepared for the working drawing subject, and at least try to draw some details for your architectural thesis. So the first element that you can think of is any critical junction where foundation meets the superstructure. So you can show all these details where you highlight waterproof membrane, then insulation, continuity strategies, structural reinforcement detail, and drainage and weep hole locations if you have planned anything like that in your drawing. So likewise, the other detail may be of complex assembly where you require weather sealing, structural support, and thermal performance. So you can showcase all this detail in your sheets, especially if it's a vernacular architecture and all those details which are slightly unconventional these days, because we generally see the preference of RCC in most of the construction. So if at all there is any typical joinery detail where you have taken inspiration from the vernacular architecture, so you can showcase that detail in your thesis. So it enhances the clarity and also it helps the examiner visualize that how are you planning to merge your concept with whether it is actually possible or feasible in the real life scenario or not. So that question is answered through the detailed drawing that you present. Also, along with that, think about the material specification and junction, like concrete, its grade, brickwork, then its thickness, steel, if it then you mention the reinforcement bar details, junctions, wall, floor, joint treatment has to be highlighted. If it is the roof level, then roof, parapet, waterproofing, how have you ensured this, you can showcase the same, and then window, wall, frame, ceiling. So all these details can be explained as a part of your working drawing or detailing of the structure. Then scale also is an important part, because if you draw your working drawing or your detailed drawing in at a scale of your floor plan like 1:50 or 100, then nothing is visible over there. So this is where you have to use a larger scale like 1:5, 1:10 in some cases, or maybe 1:20 to explain the connections or the construction process. Then drawing conventions includes to employ standardized symbols like line weights and hatching patterns, heavy lines for cut elements, medium for visible edges, and light for your hidden elements. So also remember that the consistent material representation should be there in the drawing. That same material is not represented by different hatching, that may create some confusion that whether the quality of the material is differing or it is completely a new kind of material with the same name may come up by mistake, and then there will be certain doubt that may come up. So these are things that has to be followed when you draw the technical details. Then next is your line type and representation. So master different line types and line weight. So as already explained, like continuous thick lines for cutting planes, where exactly that if you are showing the section or plan, then where is that imaginary plane used to cut the structural member or the building component. So highlight that face with thick lines, and then others will follow the interline weight with less intensity. Then dashed line for hidden elements. If there is any connection that is not visible, then you can showcase that through dashed lines. Chain lines for center line to showcase the center of that entire building component. Then proper hatching distinguishes materials very clearly, because we have already by at this stage you are clear with the different hatching that is used for different types of building elements. Like for brick, building materials like brick may have a different has a different hatching pattern that compared with the stone work or maybe with the glass that is used. So that is how your line weight, hatching generally speaks a lot about the material that is used, and then you can just mention the dimension of the material. Electrical system. So if you are showcasing the details about building services, so that also counts as a detail that is generally preferred in architectural thesis. So you can showcase water supply layout, electrical services or firefighting services or drainage pattern within your entire site. So that actually gives some clarity to the examiner that you have extended your work beyond the the submission requirement for the thesis project, and it actually brings out that you are very well aware of these aspects also in your project, and the challenges that may come up with while integrating these services within the building is being understood by you, and you have tried to work around those challenges. So HVAC system, it is good if you could showcase at least detail of air handling units and how is the ductwork happening in the entire building. So these are few details that you could showcase related to water and sanitation. So which is your fresh water supply network, and for sanitation purpose how is the pipe work being conducted. So all this is being taught in your building services, so you can use the same knowledge to draw these details for your architectural thesis. Then interior and landscape services, you can actually detail out one specific room or some group of rooms which are very typical to your entire building that you have selected for your thesis. Then showcase the furniture arrangement and the interior layout of the project along with the landscape details. So for example, if there is huge open space in front of your or at some part of your site, then you can showcase that entire detail of that open space. So how is the pathway design and the other vegetation that has been thought, along with the placement of fountain or sitting benches. So all these can be showcased in the detailed drawing of your architectural thesis. So overall, the key expectation of inserting or adding detailing and detailing or the working drawing in your project is that it enhances the technical precision in your thesis project. It brings out accurate dimensions, material specification and construction sequences for your project. It communicates very clearly your idea for the project with the examiner. The examiner can visualize all the details that you are speaking and just showing with the images, and how that is actually feasible when this project will be constructed. So all this is generally intended to be showcased through the your working drawing and detailing of the structure. So to conclude this presentation, detailing translates design into a buildable reality. Working drawing is actually a construction language, because when your project or the project that on which you are working will be actually executed, the submission drawings or the drawing that you have prepared will not be used over there. It is just that working drawing that will be taken to the site, and then the same working drawing will be used for the construction. So that is why having a working drawing, some of the working drawings for the architectural thesis is always a good idea to be added. So construction details ensure durability and safety. Technical standards like scale, symbol and line type has to be followed so that they don't create any confusion. The recommendation for future purpose includes use BIM, that is building information modeling, for coordination and class detection. Conduct interdisciplinary workshops for architects, engineers and service consultant in case you want to excel in this working drawing and detailing field. Prioritize sustainability, that is detailing for energy efficiency and net zero energy design is always a good idea. Encourage the students as well as your friends to adopt digital tools for detailing, because this is actually a very good process to be adopted in architectural thesis at later stage, because when you start with detailing and working drawing, you are very clear with all the with all the details of the project. So there is no such doubt regarding the connections or regarding the joinery details of several different members, building components in your project. So these things are basically cleared through by adding all these details in your architectural thesis. So these are some wrap-up activities that are being suggested that you can complete at the end of this lecture, and if there is any question, you can ask me during the question answer session. and these are some resources for further reading which you can explore. And in our next presentation I will focus on the visual communication, focusing on the sheet composition. So how although you have worked, you have prepared your drawings and details for the architectural thesis project, but when it comes to arrange everything in your sheet, because the sheets is what will be displayed at the end of your architectural thesis. So your information has to be in such order that it can be easily understood and can be easily explained by you on that day. So it requires some amount of composition and layout design. So this is what will be explained in the next presentation, so that you can enhance your presentation skills visually as well as verbally during the presentation. So important knowledge about hierarchy, balance, alignment and rhythm are very essential, because the same has to be adopted there. Strategies for organizing the drawing, text and graphics are to be understood, because these are the things which may enhance your work or may create problems while displaying the information in front of jurors. Visual storytelling across multiple sheets is also an art. So how you can enhance that when you start preparing your sheets. So this is what will be explained in the next presentation, along with some mistakes that is generally found when students compose their sheets for viva or for the jury. So all these things will be explained in your next presentation, so that you are well prepared with the drawings as of this stage, and also with the composition for your the sheet composition for the final jury. So with this I'd like to conclude my presentation, and I hope the information that is that was discussed will be helpful for you in your architectural thesis submission. So thank you for your patience listening, and I expect to meet you again in the next presentation.